breaking news, hot off the press.
Caitlyn Clark
will be returning.
Caitlyn Clark
is returning, lads. She is going to be back.
Is official.
Yeah, I think it's just nice to get back out there and get to the flow of, playing with my teammates again. And, it's gonna be fun to get back out there, hopefully. Yeah, I feel pretty good, but probably going to try not to overdo it as well and put myself in a good position moving forward.
This is what we needed. The GOAT is back. It's official.
Caitlyn Clark just broke the silence. She's back, and she's coming for the Valkyries. After weeks on the sidelines, she's officially returning, and this time, it's personal.
Caitlyn Clark
was gonna be back. Caitlyn Clark is making her return. This is what the world needed.
The last time they faced off, Indiana choked in the fourth, but not this time. Not with 22 back.
Caitlyn Clark is a star. She is one of the most decorated women athletes.
Caitlyn Clark is the driving force behind the WNBA success, women's basketball success.
Doing massive, massive business for a league that has no track record of it.
If you're 100% riding with Caitlyn Clark, drop a 100% in the comments right now. Let's get into it.
Her presence and her impact in women's basketball is referred to as the Caitlyn Clark effect.
Country has fallen in love with what we have created. And America, here's the girl next door, all grown up, Caitlyn Clark.
Caitlyn Clark is officially returning.
Caitlyn Clark was gonna be back, is official.
And not just for any game. She's coming back against the same team that handed Indiana one of their most frustrating losses this season, the Golden State Valkyries.
It is looking like Caitlyn Clark is returning, lads. She is going to be back to play against the Golden State Valkyries.
That game, Indiana collapsed in the fourth quarter, but this time Clark's back to rewrite the story. After sitting out due to injury, Caitlyn was cleared by the Fever's medical team and is expected to suit up for this critical matchup. Coach Stephanie White confirmed it herself.
She is on track to return, according to Indiana Fever coach Stephanie White.
Barring any last-minute setbacks, Clark will be in uniform, ready to lead.
And according to Stephanie White, obviously. But if there are no setbacks, she expects Caitlyn Clark to return.
Stephanie White right here from Chloe Peterson. Barring any regression, Caitlyn Clark will be available tomorrow against the Golden State Valkyries.
This is more than just good news. It's a potential season changer. Why? Because the Fever need her now more than ever.
She's been injured for exactly 50% of the season. And the Indiana Fever are now in a situation where they really need her. It's the most important game. All these games are important games at this stage.
Indiana is neck and neck with the Valkyries in the standings. Both teams share similar records, and the battle for playoff position is getting brutal. The margin for error is razor thin. One loss could push the Fever down the ladder. Another win could thrust them into the top six.
The Fever can get into that top six pretty easily.
And let's be clear, the Valkyries might play hard, but they're not unbeatable. They've dropped 2 straight games, fading late in both contests. Away from home, they don't get the same foul calls.
The Valkyries just go around hacking people. They don't get the favorable whistle away from home.
And their offensive talent doesn't stack up to what Caitlyn brings to the floor. This is a very winnable game, especially with Clark running the show.
They've lost their last 2 games in a row, and they've kind of faded late in both of those games. And they have the same record as the Fever.
The energy she brings is irreplaceable. Teammates like Ari McDonald and Kelsey Mitchell have stepped up, but there's no denying who the real engine is. Even when Caitlyn isn't putting up 30-point nights, her presence alone reshapes the game.
The Indiana Fever not that much fun to watch without her.
Just her being out there opens up looks for Aaliyah Boston.
Aaliyah Boston will get back to getting easy baskets
and forces opposing defenses to stretch further than they want.
Just reading each other and just seeing how the game's going and how the defense is playing us.
And the best part? She's not coming back to be cautious. Caitlyn practiced 5-on-5 in front of Fever fans and nailed the first bucket.
Participating yesterday in a 5-on-5 practice session in front of VIP Indiana Fever fans. She made the first bucket.
This is my first time doing this, so it was a great experience. I'm happy, and I know my teammates, I can speak for them as well. It's just, putting on a show for them and just letting them get to know us a little better and just seeing, us keep building that chemistry.
She's feeling the rhythm, and she's excited, not just physically, but mentally.
It's obviously hard sitting out and watching for a few weeks, so I'm definitely excited to get back out there.
She said herself it's time to get back into the flow with her teammates, to compete hard and bring the energy this team has been missing.
If they say she's healthy, she should play.
Let's not forget, Clark's averages were 16.8 points, 5.3 rebounds, and 6.3 assists before the injury. That kind of production isn't just impressive, it's elite for a rookie. And that's all the Fever need right now. Not 30-point explosions, just Caitlyn doing Caitlyn things.
Yeah, I mean, I feel pretty good, but probably going to try not to overdo it as well and put myself in a good position moving forward.
Controlling pace, dropping dimes.
Like, she doesn't need to go drop 30. Give us your averages and we're happy.
And hitting those deep threes when it matters. This isn't just a comeback game. It's a must-win. And Caitlyn Clark is ready to answer the call. Caitlyn Clark didn't just say she's returning, she sent a message. And that message? Let me play my game. After weeks of silence and speculation, Caitlyn finally spoke. And what she said wasn't just about basketball, it was a subtle but clear challenge to those trying to control her game from the sidelines. She said she's ready to compete, bring energy, and play hard.
I think it's just nice to get back out there and get to the flow of, playing with my teammates again. And, it's gonna be fun to get back out there, hopefully, and just feel things again. I think, I don't know what type of minutes I'm gonna get will look like, but just when I'm out there, compete, play hard. This is gonna be a team that's gonna be moving constantly. So just being aware and active, bring energy.
But don't expect her to sit around and wait for the green light. And while she was careful with her words, her actions, and her fans are doing the real talking. Let's start with what's happening behind the scenes. Multiple reports and footage from Fever practices show that Caitlyn looks sharp. She's been running with the starters, hitting shots and building chemistry, especially with Aari McDonald. That's a big deal, because before, Caitlyn was often forced to stand in the corner while other guards like Erica Wheeler or Sydney Colson dominated the ball and ignored her completely.
Caitlyn Clark playing off the ball with Aari McDonald looks good. That Aari actually looks to give her the ball, which is the complete opposite. To when Sid Colson's there and when Erica Wheeler was there.
The result? Wasted possessions, broken rhythm, and frustration, both for Caitlyn and the fans. But things are different now. With Aari McDonald in the rotation, there's movement, energy, and trust.
I congratulated all three, and they just credited us. Thanks for making them look good, but all thanks goes to them, and I just want them to keep being themselves and just enjoy the moment and have fun.
Aari looks for Caitlyn. She doesn't freeze her out. And when Caitlyn plays off the ball, it's no longer passive, it's strategic.
The only time Caitlyn Clark should be off the ball is if we are running a play for her.
Motion offense, pick and roll setups, quick flares off screens. That's the kind of dynamic system that lets Clark thrive.
Yeah, I don't mind Caitlyn playing off the ball, as long as there is a motion offense.
Not this old school, slow it down, run the clock out style that Coach Stephanie White has been clinging to. And that brings us to the tension that's bubbling under the surface. Let's be honest, a lot of people are starting to question Stephanie White. Her rigid offensive system, her refusal to give Caitlyn the freedom to run the offense, and her insistence on forcing an outdated Connecticut Sun style of play.
Stephanie White say the low guard getting the outlet and the high guard running. Listen, Stephanie White, that's not how we're playing. Caitlyn Clark receives the outlet.
Has rubbed fans and analysts the wrong way. One of the loudest criticisms? The minutes restriction talk. Clark said she might be on a limit, but fans and experts immediately pushed back. This isn't the time for holding back your star player. The Fever are fighting for playoff position, trying to build momentum, and the league itself is watching every move Clark makes. People aren't just tuning in to see her take 8 shots in 22 minutes. They're tuning in to see her take over. And let's be real, there's a sense of injustice in the air. Caitlyn Clark was left off the Olympic team while older. Declining players like Diana Taurasi were gifted farewell roster spots.
Diana Taurasi was a complete train wreck in the Olympics. DNP did not play.
Why? Not because of performance. Clark was having a far better season, but because the old guard of USA basketball didn't want to hand the spotlight over just yet.
Fans and pundits that the old women's basketball guard was jealous of the attention Clark was getting.
They didn't want her breaking records or taking shine from their favorites. That Olympic snub wasn't just a bad decision. It was calculated, political.
If they kept Caitlyn Clark off the team and put Taurasi on, then because of age, it would prevent Caitlyn Clark from ever matching or breaking Diana Taurasi's record.
So now Clark is returning with something to prove, not just to her team or her fans, but to the entire basketball world. And make no mistake, she's not asking for permission anymore. She's asserting herself. From refusing to be hidden in the offense to demanding the ball in transition.
Put the ball in her hands and she'll make the decisions.
Caitlyn wants one thing, control. And when she has it, the numbers speak for themselves. She's the best transition playmaker in the league. She's a generational passer.
She's the best transition playmaking guard in the league.
Her ability to hit threes 5 feet behind the line forces defenses to completely reshape their strategy. And when she's allowed to be herself,
is Stephanie White gonna allow Caitlyn Clark to do Caitlyn Clark?
When the offense flows through her, Indiana looks like a completely different team. Let's not forget what happened the last time she was unleashed. She torched the New York Liberty for 32 points.
Immediately after that game, she was being strapped up for the Sun game.
That wasn't a fluke. It was a warning shot. The fans know it. The players know it. The media knows it. And somewhere deep down, even Coach White knows it.
Or playing when she's not 100% and it's caused her to get hurt again.
This isn't about easing her in. This is about letting her cook.
If you get in Caitlyn Clark's way, we gonna tear you up. We gonna be on you. We are gonna be on. You better not mess this up. I don't want to see. Don't try to bring back that DeWanna Bonner, Connecticut Sun motion offense.
Letting Caitlyn Clark play her game isn't a luxury. It's a necessity.
Turn your back to the game while we're on offense. Don't even worry about what Caitlyn doing on offense.
Because if you want wins, if you want chemistry, if you want to energize a team and a city, you give the ball to number 22 and get out of her way.
It's been challenging mentally, just, staying in it, and, you're way more busy when you're hurt than when you're even coming in and all you do is, scout film and come out here and walk through things. So, I'm in here hours and hours on hours trying to get my body right and do everything I can to put myself in a position to be available the rest of the year. And, that's certainly my goal, and I feel good about that. And, but yeah, it's definitely challenging. I think it's been so challenging because I've never been through it before. So just giving myself grace as I continue to come back and get my feet under me. And, but I think it's also been like an amazing opportunity for myself too. And allowed me to learn a lot. And I think, when we get to the end of the year and get here in the playoffs, I think this is gonna be a moment where I can look back on. And
this isn't just a comeback game. This is Caitlyn Clark's statement to the entire league. Let's be very clear. The WNBA knows what's coming. The coaches, the players, the executives, they feel it. And they've tried everything to slow her rise. But here's the thing. You can't stop what's inevitable. Caitlyn Clark's return against the Valkyries isn't just about the Fever getting their star back. It's a symbolic turning point in a league that, for months, has tried to contain, minimize, and control her. They left her off the Olympic team. They downplayed her record-breaking rookie season, and they even floated narratives that Indiana might be better without her when she was injured. Let that sink in. This is a player who, through her first 16 WNBA games, was averaging nearly 17 points, 6 assists, and 5 rebounds per game.
Clark had been averaging 16.8 points, 5.3 rebounds, 6.3 assists per game through 16 games of her rookie WNBA season when she was passed over.
Numbers that few rookies in league history have even come close to. Her impact goes beyond the stat sheet. She's the reason arenas are selling out. She's the reason TV ratings are breaking records. She's the reason WNBA merch is flying off shelves. And yet, the league snubbed her for a spot that was gifted to Diana Taurasi. A legend, yes, but far past her prime. According to Christine Brennan's newly released book, Taurasi's spot on Team USA wasn't earned. It was a farewell gift.
Diana Taurasi making the team played a role in Caitlyn Clark not making it.
Locked in long before selections were finalized. That meant from the beginning, Caitlyn was never truly being considered, despite being more deserving by every measurable standard. But what's worse, the committee didn't just exclude her because of basketball politics. They admitted they were afraid of fan backlash. Their biggest concern wasn't how Caitlyn would perform, it was how her massive fan base might react if she didn't get enough playing time. Think about that. A young player was kept off the biggest stage because she was too popular. And still, Caitlyn didn't lash out. She didn't call out the hypocrisy. She didn't go on rants. She stayed quiet and went to work. That silence, that's the calm before the storm, because now she's back and the target is clear. Prove everyone wrong on the court, starting with the Valkyries.
Stephanie White confirming to the world, Caitlyn Clark is back. Stephanie White says if there's no setbacks, she expects Caitlyn Clark to return to the lineup tomorrow afternoon against Golden State.
The last time Indiana faced them, the Fever let the game slip away in the fourth quarter. It was one of those games that made fans scream at the TV, "Where's Caitlyn? Why isn't she running the offense? Why is she standing in the corner?" This time, everything is different. Clark knows this game is personal. It's the kind of game that superstars live for. The Valkyries are physical. They hack, they grind, they try to get in your head. But without their home crowd and their usual whistles, they're vulnerable. And Clark thrives under pressure. She's played in louder gyms, against tougher crowds with more at stake. But what makes this even more dangerous for the rest of the league is that Clark now has motivation layered on top of motivation. She's been disrespected. She's been doubted. She's been told to wait her turn. And she's had enough. She's watched others be handed opportunities she's earned. She's seen the league protect its old guard at the cost of true merit. She's seen narratives pushed.
Some Indiana Fever fans are getting a little bit nervous because of some comments that Caitlyn Clark made, saying a few more years.
That discredit her leadership, her game, and her role in the Fever's progress. But every time the league tries to dim her light, she shines brighter. Don't forget, after she was snubbed for the Olympics, she went on an insane stretch, carrying Indiana to some of its biggest wins. She responded not with complaints, but with buckets. And now, that same fire is back. This is the version of Caitlyn Clark the league should fear the most. Healthy, rested, angry, and focused. With Ori McDonald supporting her, Kelsey Mitchell hitting her shots, and Aaliyah Boston ready to feed off the spacing Caitlyn creates, this Fever team isn't just getting its star player back. It's unlocking its full potential.
With Caitlyn, they start to fight for those top 4 or 5 seeds.
Because the truth is, the entire structure of the WNBA is shifting. Caitlyn's arrival is forcing conversations.
She's a part of the old guard. Y'all got to understand that. She's a part of the old guard where they play this slow, methodical, boring-ass basketball.
It's about how the league markets its players, how coaches use their stars, and how outdated systems are holding back a new era of talent. That pressure, it's not just on Indiana anymore. It's on the entire league. Every team that ignored her, every coach that tried to trap her, every analyst that said she wasn't ready, and yes, every executive that left her off the Olympic roster because they feared her spotlight. They're all watching now because Clark's not just coming back to win a game. She's coming back to change the game.
Let's get busy. It's time to show the league. But we got championship potential.
And the Valkyries, they're first in line.
And make an example out of the Valkyries. We lost to this team. We choked away the game.
Caitlyn Clark isn't just returning. She's making a statement to the Valkyries, to the league, and to every critic who thought they could silence her. This isn't about revenge. This is about reclaiming control, rewriting narratives, and showing the world why she's not just a rookie. She's the future of the WNBA.
Caitlyn Clark has changed the game. She changed it in college and in the WNBA.
The country has fallen in love with what we have created. And America, here's the girl next door, all grown up, Caitlyn Clark.
Caitlyn Clark has captivated the nation, breaking scoring records in college and bringing women's basketball to a whole new audience.
She is a phenomenon.
Her presence and her impact in women's basketball is referred to as the Caitlyn Clark effect.
The Fever need this win. Caitlyn knows it. And if her message wasn't clear before, it is now. I'm back, and I'm coming for everyone who doubted me. The Valkyries, they're just the first to feel it.
Caitlyn Clark is officially back. She announced it. Valkyries, y'all are in trouble tomorrow.
If you believe Caitlyn Clark is about to go on a tear and shut the league up once and for all, drop it Clark's Revenge in the comments. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe, because this comeback, it's just getting started.